Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our speaker, Professor Dr. Hamid Motaghi, and moderator, Encik Hamid Sharir.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much, Terence. Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second session of Day 2 at iNation Global Summit 2024. My name is Ahmad Shahri from Meranti, and I will be your moderator for this session. Okay, with the title, Transforming Research to Fuel Business-Centric Growth, this session promises to provide insight, practical strategies, and a glimpse into research that bridges the government, academia, industry, and society, the quadruple helix. Whether you are an entrepreneur, a policymaker, or an academic, there's something here for everyone to take away. So the session today, we will have three segments. The first segment will be Dr. Hamid presenting his slides. There will be about 10 slides or so. And then there's a very important video that Dr. Hamid actually wants us to view. And then after the video, we'll have a short conversation and we'll be opening the floor for some Q&A from the audience also. So we have about 35 minutes. So with today, I'll just do a quick introduction of Dr. Hamid. So Dr. Hamid Motaghi, an Associate Professor of Business Technology Management at the University of Quebec, and Managing Director of the International Entrepreneurship Knowledge Hub, a collaborative research initiative with McGill University. With his extensive experience in academia and research, his work focuses on innovation, creativity, and the internalization of firms, especially in cultural and ethnic entrepreneurship. Dr. Hamid holds advanced degrees in engineering and business from a prestigious institution in France and Canada, and has been teaching roles at UQAM, HEC Montreal, and Lawrence Technological University. His main research are, again, innovation, creativity and cultural industries, and the role of technology, ethnic entrepreneurship, and internalization process of firms. So I think I'll pass the floor to Dr. Hamid for his presentation.
Thank you very much. Salamat pagi, good morning, bonjour. Thank you very much for inviting me, Meranti. Merci de m'avoir invité. So I'm going to talk about, I'm coming an academic. I'm coming from totally, academic perspective. But we thought of, there is a gap between academy and what we see in the real practice. So we started to study, education from real practice and real case studies. And we started with the, triple helix, so industry, governments, and university collaboration. So academia, it's driving research. It is about knowledge creation. It is about human capital. And industry, we're talking about applying this research, finding creation of the value and also capture of the value, and product and services and technology. Government, establishing the policies, establishing the funding, regulatory bodies. And the core idea is actually the interaction between these three avenues. So the key dynamic would be, for example, the knowledge spillover, universities as a hub for cutting-edge ideas and a skill of graduates. Policymaking, it's about government and catalyzing the innovation through incentive and frameworks. And of course, commercialization. Often the time, in an academic world, we are missing what is happening in the industry. So we thought of, fostering and bridging this gap between the industry and academy and bringing the real world of practice to us. So we thought of, bringing in a fourth dimension, a fourth component, which we call it adding a network. So a network of recognizing and influencing of networks from NGOs, from civil society, from social networks, in order to amplify the processes and broaden the stakeholders, enhancing the collaboration, creating stronger ties between these two traditionally separate entities. And of course, inclusive innovation between the actors. So the impact on innovation would be basically civic participation. So communities influence relevant and social and acceptance of innovation, and cross-border collaboration. I'm coming from a very big country, but very small country. A very big country in terms of surface, but a very small country in terms of population. We are approximately more or less the same population as you guys in Malaysia. So approximately we are 39, 40 million inhabitants. And approximately all of us, we are living 100 kilometers away from the US border. So a cross-border collaboration is very much important. And of course, by all means, after the pandemic, there's two worlds. There are two worlds, the world of before pandemic and the world of after pandemic, with collaboration, the social media, and so on and so forth. So for us to, narrow down this gap of business, academic, and industry and academic collaboration, at the time when I was doing my postdoc at McGill University, we started to look at real case studies. Often the time in our business schools, when we go to business schools, we get the cases from basically Ivy Business School, Harvard Business School. They are fantastic case studies, but they are XYZ cases. So the company is XYZ Inc. And so we thought of, looking at it a little bit different, bringing the industry to our universities and vice versa. So we started to capture, document, film, real audiovisual case studies. Real audiovisual case studies from entrepreneurs that are coming from Canada, and they are born global companies. So we document their entrepreneurial journey from their earliest stage going to international, and also their local and international challenges. And of course, preparing the internationalization process. That's a very important thing. As I said, Canada is a small country in terms of population, so often the time, companies, especially SMEs, which is about 54% of the GDP, they need to go international. There's no way for the existential purposes. So we did actually apply for funding. We got a funding from the federal government, and we studied 16 audio-visual case studies plus 15 specialized case studies that are film and documentaries available for all of you, all of us internationally. It's a public money. It's available for all of us to see what are the challenges of this journey of internationalization. Plus 14 written case studies. So this was, from various industries. We're talking about the high-tech industry, the e-commerce industry, the biotech industry, the fintech industry, sustainable development, entrepreneurial ecosystem. We have approximately 4 cases on entrepreneurial ecosystem. Tourism and culture, game industry as one of the clusters in Montreal, and digital technologies. So if you look at our website, IE Knowledge Hub, International Entrepreneurship Knowledge Hub, practically you see all of these case studies, like for example, the case of Bon Luc. It's a born global company. A lady graduated from McGill University. At the time when she graduated from McGill University, she was selling the eyewear glasses, prescription eyewear glasses. 85% of their market is international. 85%. They sold to almost everywhere. And that is very much interesting. A spin-off from photonics from university, and C2MI. C2MI, I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. It's about a collaborative case that is fostering the collaboration between university and industry. And then afterwards, we started to see You know, we started 2012, 2013, so we said that we're going to go further and see what are other cases and so on and so forth, and what they have done after a while. So we started to do podcasts. So far, we have conducted approximately 25 podcasts of afterwards, what the companies they have promised and what they have done. So we look at the podcast. Recently, 2023 and 2024, we started to see bilingual case studies, you know, in French, in English, regional case studies. Entrepreneurship is about the culture. It's about the culture of where you are and where you are going. So it's important to understand the culture of the regions. And we studied, you know, cases from regions of Outaouais and the regions of Laurentide in northern part of Montreal, which is a cluster by all means of biotechnology. So I'm going to talk about one of the cases. It's very interesting, and it would resonate to what you have in Malaysia, Admiralty, and that's the case of C2MI. It's actually a model of collaboration between the government, industry, and academic collaboration. Established in 2009 in the city of Bromont, which is the largest by all means of microelectronic research and commercialization center in Canada, funded and supported by the federal government and the provincial government of Quebec. So we're talking about approximately more than $218 million. The core objective was to develop the next generation of microelectronics prototype, collaboration, linking the university, industry leaders and governmental bodies, and commercialization from the acceleration from the market-driven towards the solution for healthcare, for aerospace industries and telecommunication. And the success model has been fabulous. It's actually combines the state-of-the-art of infrastructure with cutting edge and promotes R&D and more than 750 researchers and creating more than 3,000 jobs. So why network is important? Network is the extension of collaboration. Network is an extension of foster of cross-collaboration between the members. So one of the founding fathers of this C2MI is Teledom, DALSA, and IBM, and building partnership across national internationalization, strengthening the synergies with partnership with universities, with partnership with industry players, and also focusing on sustainability. And being actually, a city of Bromont is a very approximate between Boston, Montreal, and Toronto. So it's very close by for them to navigate and go around in this area. It's an economic growth for SMEs and microelectronics. It's a technological advancement. And you see, for example, up there, it's city of Bromont is where the C2MI is next to University of Sherbrooke, next to Quebec City, next to Montreal, and Ottawa, Toronto, and of course, Boston and Albany. So it's about technological demonstration, product development, and manufacturing demonstration. When we see, for example, 33,000 jobs has been, in this corridor of these big cities. And this is about the integrated supply chain management that they have with the Canadian universities and also international universities and international centers. And so once again, it's about discussion about this integrated supply chain management that they have, from electronic components to embedded systems to innovative products to the market. And if you look at the number of universities that are collaborating with this C2MI, it's just fabulous. It's about McGill University, McMaster University, University of Laval, Toronto, U Ottawa, Sherbrooke University, and so on and so forth. And the bassin of companies that are happening are very much important. So let's have a look to this case study. It talks a lot by itself. So the international entrepreneurship drives the robust and collaborative framework of Triple Helix. And it's about the key to scaling up startups, enabling and competitiveness. And it's a unique platform, to be honest with you, fostering the collaboration of education and entrepreneurship, especially international entrepreneurship. A series of recommendations that we have from these cases is actually leverage the ecosystem support and resources. Focus on export readiness. That's basically what we have in Canada. Companies that are born global, from incentive, from a startup, they go international because we don't have that much of customers anyway. And of course, adapt the digital tools and strengthen the regional network, promote diversity. If you look at, like for example, in GTA, the Greater Toronto Area, more than 52.3% of the Canadian residents of the Greater Toronto Area are not even born in Canada. So, and majority of them are actually doing international and also international entrepreneurship. So integrate knowledge hub platforms. Policymakers increase the funding, allocate more resources, and also support the ecosystem synergy and enhance the talent development, which is very much important. So thank you very much, and thank you very much for being here. Thanks to my colleague from University of Malaya to join us this morning, and our partners. Merci beaucoup.
All right, thank you, Dr. Hamid. We still have some conversation with Doctor, and if the audience has any questions, please be ready. You can use the mic on the left and right-hand side of the hall. Okay, Dr. Hamid, so I would like to start with the success of C2MI and the collaboration model. So can you please share with us what are the key factors behind C2MI's success in integrating research, development, and commercialization? Secret recipe.
I would say the secret recipe is a proximity of, the C2MI is just next door is university. When they go inside and if they have any problem, they can find the expert from universities, and University of Sherbrooke, which is one of the highest top talented university in Quebec, they are mandated, if they don't find the experts in the university, in their own university, they go and find the experts in the Canadian universities and also international universities based in the US, majority of them. That's number one. The second is that, in terms of the infrastructure, it's about an interesting infrastructure. Micro manufacturing, it's very costly. And if you want to do microelectronics, it's very costly. So you need to have governmental bodies behind of it and policies behind of it. So government has spent huge amount of money in creating this infrastructural support for this manufacturing. Because often the time these companies, if they do their prototyping in Taiwan, they will do their manufacturing in Taiwan and they are not coming back. So if they do their prototyping in Canada, there are chances that they will stay in Canada and North America as well. And also the proximity in terms of the distance is very much important. Approximately 300 kilometers from Boston. And Boston, if you look at the Boston metropolitan, it's about 50 universities and colleges. Montreal, it's about 10 universities and colleges. It's about like 100 kilometers away from Montreal, like 500 kilometers away from Toronto. So it's a hub of this microelectronics in terms of the proximity. They can have access to experts.
Okay, all right. Okay, Dr. Hamid, building on your comment on the equipment. So in the video, I think it was mentioned that you have about 15,000 square foot of equipments. Can you elaborate more? So who maintains the equipment and how do you make sure that it's up to date? Equipments come out very often.
Absolutely. So, there are two governmental agencies in terms of the funding in Canada. So professors apply for the funding, that's number one, and it goes from the federal government and also from the provincial government. So part of this is actually on the infrastructural support. Part of it is actually from the infrastructural support. So universities, professors who actually know about top-notch of these infrastructures, they can actually spend part of this for the infrastructure, which goes and stays in C2MI.
All right.
Like for example, the funding that we had, we spent almost $1 million on these video case studies.
Okay, yes.
And the rest of it, we have infrastructure that are available at McGill for the continuance of this project as well. So the infrastructure belongs to university, so it belongs to the C2MI as well.
Okay. So I also have this question. you talk about fostering collaborations between all the parties. So what are the challenges that CMMI has faced, and what did they do to overcome these challenges?
Well, one of the challenges is about, well, the challenges and also taking to the opportunities. Because C2MI is based in Kobe, so majority of them, they speak French, okay? So speaking French could be a challenge, but they make it to the opportunities as well. So you think two ways, you think in French and you think in English, and that will actually foster the collaboration as well. So you have also North African countries that are collaborating, you have the Europeans that are collaborating, especially with the NCERC and also with the CNRS in France, and they are collaborating with them. So these are very much interesting. And secondly, it's about the collaboration between universities which are actually far. So they mandated, as I said, University of Sherbrooke, which is just next door. If they don't have the expert at University of Sherbrooke, they go and find the expert at other universities across Canada and also across the United States.
So that's about collaboration between universities. So how do you make the industries, want to be part of this?
Well, one of the two founder members of this C2MI is IBM Canada and Teledyne
That's the anchor, yes.
Absolutely, and there is an industrial park next door. It's about 3 kilometers away. And for them, startups, if they want to do micro-manufacturing, prototyping and trials and so on and so forth, they have IBM next door, which helps them for the commercialization as well. So you have two big players that have been, founding fathers or members of this umbrella of C2MI.
Okay, so is there any plans to add more anchors to this?
We did a podcast on them afterwards, a couple of years after, to see how they are collaborating, and it's been magnificent actually, because they could get more funding of partnership in international organization with international universities as well. So this is, a pandemic was an unfortunate thing, but again was a fortunate thing for IT and telecommunication.
Okay, we have about 3 minutes. So if there are anyone who would like ask Dr. Hamid, maybe you can take 2 questions from the floor. Okay, all right. So I noticed that Prof, in your slides, in the video, also talks about inclusivity. Can you explain what this model and specifically what does the C2MI is doing in that?
Well, majority of graduate students in Canada, if you walk to my second floor of my university, which is a French-based university, majority of them are coming from not Canada. They are not Canadians. That's not Canadian. Not Canadians. The majority of them are coming from international. We are a country that far from distance, but very close cognitively. I give you an example. In 2023, we had approximately 460,000 immigrants coming to Canada, 460,000 approximately. And majority of them are coming from Asia. Majority of them are coming from Asia. They're coming from India, they're coming from Pakistan, they're coming from Iran, they're coming from South Korea, they're coming from, name them. And they're coming from North African countries because of the French. So that is very interesting. So if you look at, 34% of the companies in Canada, they are immigrant-based. So the CEOs are immigrants. And the word immigrant means that the gentleman, the lady is not born in Canada. All right? So that's very interesting. I'm talking about the cognitive distance. We are very close to Asia and to ASEAN countries in terms of the cognitive distance. And as I said, majority of graduate students are coming from outside of Canada and outside of North America, to be honest with you.
All right. Dr. Hamid, I think that will be my last question. If we don't have any questions from the floor. Oh, are there? All right, sorry. Yes, sir.
My name is Saeed Abdurrahman. I postgraduate student from...
I'm so sorry, can you come closer to the mic, please? Thank you.
My name is Saeed Abdurrahman. a postgraduate student from International Islam University, UAE. I'm from Nigeria. So you spoke about collaboration. So my simple question is, as an individual, how can somebody get your contact or contact of the school to explain and make a kind of contact with this kind of the presentation you have made?
Well, if I understand the question correctly, in terms of the collaboration with the Malaysian universities and Malaysian policymakers, go to our website, ie-knowledgehub.ca. And also, I would like to extend the hand to Moranti and also to all of you here. Bring and do case studies, and we do it together, and we make it known to the world. And that is interesting, and we make it free available for the population. These case studies that we spent over about 12 years ago, over the past 12 years, are available free of charge for all of us to use and to know that what we do and how we do, this is one of the practices. There are other practices as well for internationalization. And internationalization, it's a challenge, and make it a challenge for opportunities.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Hamid. I think that's the time that we have for this session. Thank you so much, Dr.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. Terima kasih.
Professor Dr. Hamid and Encik Ahmad Shahir, please kindly remain on stage, gentlemen. Gentlemen, please kindly remain on stage. We're going to quickly flash the QR code as usual. If you could take a minute or two, ladies and gentlemen, to scan the QR code and give us your feedback about the session as we quickly reset